Hello all you people from the planet YouTube! Now I have been browsing YouTube for quite some time now, and it still strikes me in deep wonder why people want to become famous. I mean, not only on YouTube, on every single reality show that I see, people do anything to become famous. It's very important for me to point out this is not a harassing video. I'm not pointing fingers at people asking why they want to become famous. There's nothing wrong with wanting to become famous. And hey, look who's talking. I became an actor, for Christ's sakes. I'm really just in a little boy wondering state of mind. Why is it we want to become famous? I was amazed that YouTube actually had kind of a YouTube legends all around. Daryl Horner, a stand-up comedian who also happens to make YouTube videos. This guy's funny. And I wouldn't even know he existed if it wasn't for YouTube. Not only is he funny, he also has a way with words. He's kind of a word wizard. I shat on you. It's actually just a name, used by a guy who wears an Obi-Wan Kenobi mask from the animated version and has a falsetto voice. For what reason he wears a mask, I do not know. And I don't even care, because he is funny, he's entertaining. Also a guy who created extreme amount of mayhem wearing this mask. People try to get him to take the mask off and comment that his voice is just a copy of Fred. No, he's not Fred, he's just... well, it's his thing, what can I say? And of course, you all know David Spade, I'm sure. His channel was suspended for some strange reason, and now he's back. Called himself Laugh and Pee a Little. But, I mean, I don't usually pee from laughing, but I have shed a tear, if that counts. Goodspeed Acting. Kind of a cool name, isn't it? Goodspeed, Godspeed, and good speed, you know. Oh, this is good speed. But, well, I'm sure that's not what he intended with his name, but maybe that actually is his name. This guy makes theater. He's now called Goodspeed Theater, close to his former account, and they're great. He makes a lot of impersonations, but he uses his own words, his own text, and he's quite entertaining. You should really check him out. Who could ever forget Chris Crocker? The guy or girl who became famous for making all these videos about Britney Spears, and the most famous one was, of course, leave Britney Spears alone. Oh, that was quite something. This guy now has his own talk show. He's hunted down by the paparazzi in same amount as any other famous people around the world. This dude is a freak. But in a good way. Chocolate rain. Remember that guy? But of course, out there in the real world, called TV, there are a lot of people who want to become famous there too. My first reality show was called Robinson. You know, you probably know it. Two gangs of people sat on a deserted island to basically just vote each other out, you know. And then it became worst. A show called Big Brother invaded our televisions. Yeah, let's take a bunch of youngsters and stuff them into this tiny little house and with a big little lawn outside, and and a fence, a big fence they can hardly jump over, and isolate them for 100 days and see what happens. This concept reminded me a little bit about some kind of a emotional gladiator circus match. I mean, getting isolated for 100 days is basically like being in jail. This is Big Brother. Now you shall all take off your clothes. go under the cold shower, and sleep outside with no sleeping bag or blankets. Stuff like that, you know, this happened in this show. And of course, the greatest hit was when a couple would actually have sex, because there were cameras everywhere. They were planted so you couldn't hide anywhere. There were cameras in the toilet, in the beds, everywhere. Now, if that concept is not made for people who really wants attention and to be seen, I don't know what is. They didn't only get their 15 minutes of fame, they got 100 days of it. And then it became even worse. They created Paradise Hotel. That show was created specifically for inbred morons. Mother? But like I said, I am not trying to point fingers at anyone, because if it weren't for these people, if it weren't for YouTube, if it weren't for people who wants to become famous, who wants to be seen, who wants attention, I wouldn't become entertained. And I too, by the way, am trying to become an actor, so I can entertain people, so I basically can be seen.